Good morning, Gemini. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. I am outside for a change. I did one yesterday for Aries. And so just a change in location. Enjoying the sunlight this morning before the day gets rolling. Gemini, this is going to be your August 2024 reading. This will be for your sun, your moon, and your rising. Cross watcher, if that is you, welcome to the channel as well. And guys, always discern the messages. Remember, not everything will be for you. Could be, flip the roles as it applies. Don't force something to fit. I've seen a little bit of that lately here in some of the comments. So it's either for you or it's not. And if it's not, then check your other placements. And if those don't resonate, then just know that right now there's nothing that you need to know. I mean, that sounds pretty silly, but it's the truth. So there's that. So quickly, thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, and commented. Donations, I think her name was Tina. God, I'm so awful with names. So thank you for the donation. And please correct me if I'm wrong on the name, which I probably am. I'm terrible with names. I remember energy and faces. And let's see. So yeah, personal reads are open and available. If you're interested in that information is found in the description box below and the About section of the page. So Gemini, let's jump in here, see what's going on in August. I don't think I had a chance to get you guys a reading out in July, so forgive me, right? July was just wicked month. It was a wicked month, right? And sorry, the sun is going in and out, so it may get a little darker on the video, but it's not about what you see, it's about what you hear here. So, all right, Spirit, let's see what's going on for Gemini, August 2024. Gemini, listening. Observation is the first thing Spirit just said. You may be in a place right now where you're kind of looking back and you could be dealing with a fire sign, doesn't have to be. But trying to decide if the choices that you are making are right for yourself. There could be a lot of passion in a particular situation, Gemini, throughout the month of August. I feel like you're kind of focused on learning something new, and you're an air sign, like I wouldn't be surprised by that. But maybe you went from a place of action to inaction to observe. I feel like the person or situation connected to you is kind of like in go mode in some way. Like they're just like, let's do a thing, or I don't know, something like that. And I'm going to tell you that Spirit's saying that could be in many areas of life. So I'm not sure how this person is coming in with action, but they are. So for you, it's almost like you got to get your book of magic tricks out, is what I'm hearing. Like you got to get your book out. You got to look up something. You may be really observing a person's behavior right now. Where it's like, let me go back and think about this. Let me go back and analyze, maybe even overanalyze something here. It's like in one moment you could feel really quite content in a situation, and then in the next minute kind of questioning if it's the right situation for you. So whether this is work, partnerships, relationships, whatever it might be for you. What else for Gemini? Gemini, it's like there's also this idea of I don't need to know more, whatever that means. And as I say that, forbidden and invisible come out with hope. You could be kind of, I'm going to adjust this just a smidge. You could be kind of putting the blinders on, like I've taken in enough of a scenario that I don't want to know anymore right now. I need to take the time to almost in this hermit mode, Gemini. Like just kind of trying to dip out of a situation for a little while. I do feel like there's something on an internal level going on for you in the month of August that says like, I just need a timeout. I need time to breathe. I need time to, it's almost like locking yourself up and throwing away the key. Like you're really trying to get out of a particular situation over the summer months, like, let's just say, yeah, as I say that, there comes the Grove. The Grove is all about self-care and vision. Your life is changing, Gemini, and I'm going to tell you, some of the people around you may not be understanding of this vision that you are creating for yourself. This is, again, this idea of observation, right? That vision card is about that observation point. I'm going to tell you, some of you, I'm going to adjust again here. Some of you might have Gemini in your moon, so you could be, checking out placements for your other signs, as I said that, right? You could have a Gemini moon. You could have a Taurus Libra moon, as they are tied to Venus. There's something here about needing to go back within, or feeling like, I don't even think like you're thinking about doing it. You're just doing it. Others around you may not fully understand why you're doing this at this point, but it is like you're going out, taking in information, and then going back inside with it, to see where you stand on something. And I honestly feel here, Gemini, this could pertain to some sort of independence. I did Aries reading yesterday, and I think it was called Breaking Free or something to that effect, but this is like a sense of individualized freedom, not so much just getting through a situation as much as it has to do with your personal power. So that's rather interesting to me, the way this is coming through. Gemini, you guys like to kind of do things on your own terms to begin with. Sometimes you want people around, sometimes you need isolation. There's the duality, right, of who you are, and that's kind of how this feels to me, in the way that Spirit is representing it as well. It definitely has to do a lot with the emotions, Gemini. Whatever you're learning, whatever you're acquiring, whatever facts. Spirit just said too, like, I don't know, this is going to be a very specific message for somebody. You may be very much into politics, and you have recently watched, I don't know, a news broadcast or read an article or something like that, and now your perception of a situation is changing, or the way you're viewing the way the political arena is transpiring. It's like you're coming into some kind of news or information. This could, Spirit says, pertain to taxes. So I don't know, just it's like where your passions are lying, where you're seeing things a bit more clearly. And funny is we're in Mercury retrograde pre-shadow, right? So consciousness, personal realizations, prejudice, self-awareness, seeking a higher truth, discernment, a better path, authority. There's something here, Gemini, and I'm going to tell you, even if it's not, excuse me, goodness, on the political arena, this could be in your work life, right? Like, I don't even know, like work life, your home life, the structures that you are currently finding yourself in, and how they make a lasting impact on you. So it's pretty deep. Like, you're really internalizing something here to go deep within. Angelic realms, a team effort, charity, validation, and patience. Spirit guides, looking for a sign, philosophical discussion, supervision. It's almost like leaving one group, Gemini, and joining another. But what I think is interesting about this is you're not leaving a particular situation to necessarily venture off with other people, as much as you are venturing off with yourself and just realizations that you're having around certain areas of your life. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's like you're trusting in your spirit guides. You're trusting in insights and wisdom from the ethereal realm rather than looking at the human form of what is happening. So it's like you're taking a 3D approach, we'll call it, to taking in and observing your physical world. But then when we go within, needing to... Spirit, this is complex. Yeah, it is. But then needing to go within to understand, and then it's like you're seeking the answers and the clarity, not in the human form, but via prayer or via your spirit guides, God, whatever you put your faith into. As I say, that temple and home is on the bottom. You're looking elsewhere on an internal level to getting answers to your questions, seeking if I could talk this morning, Mercury retrograde in full force here, seeking the answers. Oh, gosh, I just lost it. You're seeking the answers, but again, just not on an external level. There's a card. Hold on. Just flipped over. Damp and rainy realm, moisture abounds, wet serenity, drizzling delight. Spirit, as I was reading that to you guys, they're like, they all think you're crazy. So, you know, if we use, and I don't want to see a bunch of political craziness in the comments, okay? Like, we know that things are happening here. We've had a lot happen in the past month. But again, for whatever reason, that's the example they're giving me. So, you know, you think about that. We have different parties, right? That creates divide, things of that nature. I don't know why that's a way to put this, but that's where we're going. But Spirit's just saying they all think you're crazy. So it's like maybe you went from this to the next thing, and the people that you were in agreement with at one point on a particular topic in relation to politics or government, whatever, you've gone to the other end going, now I understand why these things are happening this way. People may think that you have lost your mind, Gemini, that you have bumped your head, right? That you're crazy. Like what fairy world, you know, it's like going and seeking happiness, thinking that everything is magical, right? Thinking that, you know, I relate it to Disney movies in the sense that, I can't think of one specific one or specific scenario, and pardon the noise, the truck's gone by, where, you know, like they believe that something can change, right? Or something will get better. And it's like, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And you're just like, I'm optimistic that this is going to be different this time around somehow. And everyone's like, there's just no possible human way that this could be anything else. But you're having some kind of, faith or vision in something, and it may seem very crazy to other people. So it's like, you know, they may feel like you're living in some kind of fantasy land. But I'm going to tell you, Gemini, I don't think you're wrong. I don't get the feeling that, you know, there may not be physical proof of something, right? This really is like a difference of opinions, and you're like, you know, I'm just going to take my opinion, keep it to myself, and do what I need to do with it. Some of this could be even around investments to Gemini for you, where it's like, let's say, as an example, you make peanuts, and you're trying to get a mortgage, right? Like, you may go and talk to a parent or your spouse or a friend, whatever, and say, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I make $10,000 a year, but I'm going to buy that $1 million mansion. And people are looking at you like you've lost your damn mind. Well, realistically, how in the hell are you going to do that? Like, Gemini, you're manifesting. You're working on what vision you want in your life. You know, it may seem crazy to the outside perspective. It may seem extremely unrealistic to the outside perspective. Some of you may be wanting to open a business right now as well. It's like financial institutions and restaurants. It's banking, right? Like, what do I need to achieve my goal, Gemini? And I like this energy for you, because it's like you are understanding that there's something here. There's more here than meets the eye, and you're willing to make the investments. You're willing to be guided by God, source, spirit, just opening your ears to this information that's coming in, so that you can work on yourself to work towards your goals, even if it seems like those goals are, you know, for some people around you going, there's just no way that's ever going to happen. And you're like, watch me. So I do like the fact that, Gemini, right now, even through Mercury retrograde, like, you are in your light. And I think that this is going to be an energy that you carry through the whole month of August. Going, I know. I just know. I don't know how I know, you know, tapping into that intuition, but going, I know, like, I don't know how it happens, but I'm going to believe that it can happen. And, you know, I think some of the best laid plans, Gemini, come from just not needing to necessarily know, but going within and, just doing the damn thing, right? Just letting it unfold without stressing. And here's the thing, Jim, and in that bank card comes out again. Savings, loans, credit, financial institutions, you know, you have to try and test things too. So you may be trying one avenue, and I get the feeling around crypto, you guys are being extremely analytical this month. And it's like, you have to do the research, right? If you don't know something, you have to do the research. You have to experiment. Not everything is going to work out, right? But trying different avenues to see what does work. It's like being back in the day, newspaper, right? We would deliver the newspaper. You'd have to walk around and go to doors, and here we go, showing my age. When that was a thing, right? And going, hey, would you like to get this subscription for 35 cents a week? Or, you can pay 35 cents for each edition every day, So it's like you have to keep knocking on those doors for that opportunity. And it's like it only takes one person, right, for you to make that sale, to turn things around. It builds your confidence. So you're doing the research, and I said that, like, you're learning something, right, in this laboratory. Scientific research, experiments and analysis, innovation and invention. You're finding new ways to do things by separating yourself from, I'm going to call it a mindset of other people's typical, it's the conditioned invention, Spirit is calling it, where, here we go, convention takes place. So you think about people who would converge together on a convention, it's because they're all doing it. The dogs are going crazy. They all join it together because they have a specific thing in common with one another, right? Like maybe like we've seen some of the Comic-Con things over the years, right? Pop up at conventions, and everybody goes there because, they want to see their favorite, characters or whatever it might be. This reading is a little bit out there, right? Like, but I like it. But they all come together because there's something in common. And Gemini, I feel like you're breaking away from that commonality and going, this is the only way they thought that they could ever do it. Or this is the only way it's ever been seen that we can do it, by the opinions of those around us. But I have a different vision. I know that these things can happen. I'm trusting in this. And I feel like you're finally breaking free of those opinions of other people and diving into what you know to be true for yourself. And I thoroughly enjoy the energy that you're in with this. What is this grove about, Spirit? And this is an isolating desert and parking lot. Like, you see parking spots, park and go, parking garage. You see how empty and desolate that is, right? In the desert, you think about it, you can look for miles and just there's nothing but sand and dunes and endless horizons. It's like you've got to clear everything back down to a solitary energy that gives you the space to create what you want. It's going out in the desert, and I don't know the history of Vegas, but it's like, at some point that was just dry, desolate, nothing out there until they decided to build Vegas. It took one person to go, let's do this here, let's get this started, and now look, it's a destination hub for everybody and their mother. To go and enjoy that nightlife and casinos and foods and celebrities and restaurants and whatever. So Gemini, this is what this feels like, is like creating this vision or having this vision and starting to talk this vision into existence, manifesting this for yourself, but also realizing that this path forward may feel lonely compared to some of the people that you've been around. These are naysayers who tell you there is only one way. These are also people who, for some of you, they could have been toxic in some capacity. Like, they're the ones that they'll tell you you're nuts. But the second you begin to succeed at something, they will, they're all about you again. They want to take have a piece of that pie, that investment that you made and how wonderfully things are working out. Now they want to join in, but when the work was being done, they weren't around. So, it's just like, be mindful of that energy. And I think that's going to be a big thing for you throughout the month of August. I feel like this is pretty clear cut. Like, they think you're, off in some little fairy realm, making shit up as you go, and you're not. Like, you're making things happen. You're changing the way that you live, love, and exist. So let's see, different deck. All right, let's get some advice here, and we're going to close it out. It's very simple. Gemini, stay the course. Stay the course of what you're doing for yourself. It's working. You may not even see how it's working. You're just trusting that it's working. I feel like you're in a pretty good energy despite Mercury retrograde's fuckery. There it is. Temptation is really what I'm going to stick with on this one, and boundaries. And I just said about the example of, you know, when the work is being done, no one shows up, and once they see the fruits of your labor, it's like, hey, here I am. Boundaries, you know, charmed, used, you know, enabling. So be careful who you take along on this ride, because not everybody's got the best of intentions for you, right? They only want it once they see it, but they weren't the ones that manifested or believed in something here. All right, advice for Gemini, Spirit. Grounding, stability, security, performance, growth, and endurance. Many options, unconventional. You know, I think that's the word here that I'm going to stick with, Gemini, is unconventional. There are people in your life, and I think there's an awareness that, hold on a second. Hey! We were playing too hard, apparently. There are people who will string you along, trying to keep you in their corner and their realm of thought. And God forbid you stray into not doing things on that conditioned pattern. And that's really what this feels like to me, is like people that will give you just enough to keep you there. Be mindful. Be very mindful of that energy. Let's see. Advice for Gemini. As I say that, the dragonfly. Lighthearted and adapt. Finding out and change. Things coming to light and healing. Poker face. You're taking a chance. You're taking a risk. You're not showing your hand to the people that don't believe in you, or believe in your vision, or believe in your goals. You could be doing this very silently. The other thing I want to say to you this morning, the one you just heard yelling, screaming, whatever, whining, she caught a dragonfly, which I was not too happy about. And I picked it up and tried to save it. Of course, its wings were wet, so I'm sure there was no flying as a result of that. But I sat it there, and it's gone now. So hopefully it's okay and flew away. But I think it's funny, as I was getting ready to shuffle that card out, she is screaming, which she is the culprit to 22 on the clock. She was the culprit to that poor thing being down on the ground. And then this dragonfly card comes out within a moment after her, yapping or yelping. You may feel, it's always a sign, right? You may feel a little down and out during this period of isolation you're going through, a hermiting that you're doing. You may realize that spirits said people may be talking behind your back about just like a negative influence of, there's no way they're going to be able to do this, or I hope they, it's like that passive, like, how do I put it? I don't know. It's two-faced, like they kind of look at you and smile and go, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, lovely, right? And then, your two parents get to talking behind the scenes or whatever this is, and say, yeah, she's lost her mind, and, I don't know how she's going to do it, and she doesn't have enough. It's like they're adding this negative connotation to not believing in what you believe in, that you can make something happen. And you may find out this information, right, as time goes on, and that's where you're going to learn a stricter boundary line with these people, and go, I've manifested, I've created, I've done these things. If you couldn't believe in me then, in the middle of my dream, you don't get to hang around now for the rewards. This is going to be a much longer process, Gemini, than a month, for the month of August. But this is the energy that you're facing right now. It's about the clarity. It's about the communication. It's about the dream. It's about the vision. It's about the research. It's about learning about yourself. And it's very analytical. You're going through this process for the sake of your own betterment. And do believe in your dreams. Do believe in whatever you're trying to manifest for yourself, even if everyone else says it's a no-go. It's like, the odds of getting struck by lightning, right? It could happen. Hitting that $1 million winning lottery ticket, it could happen. Don't let someone else tell you, because they're in a negative, fearful space, that life can't happen in a mystical or magical way. All right? Okay, Gemini, I'm leaving it there. I hope that this reading was insightful and helpful to you for the month of August. Again, thank you for all of the ways you love, like, support the channel. I appreciate it. So like, share, subscribe, comment. And again, personal reads are open and available. Info in the description box below and the about section of the page. Wishing you guys a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.